We've long gotten used to the spectacle of angry mobs of people demonstrating in various cities in the Islamic world, chanting very angry and violent slogans, i.e. death to America, death to Britain, death to Denmark even, and coming soon to a country near you, I'm sure, where flags of that nation are burnt, and that country is referred to in pretty black-white terms, black of course, as satanic, devilish, and on occasion threatened with total destruction. Pretty powerful stuff, and it usually takes place with the full knowledge, not necessarily the cooperation or collusion, but non-interference of the local police. In most Muslim countries, you can't have a demonstration like that unless the police decide that they're going to let you do it. Now, what's the difference between that sort of thing and what the Dove World Outreach Center plans on doing on September the 11th this year with its Burn a Qur'an Day? Same thing. If these people get their way, we're going to see a big pile of Qur'ans set ablaze, deliberately defaced and denounced, and the Muslim religion compared to who knows what, Satanism or whatever. We've seen all the revolting Islamophobic propaganda already. And essentially, 1.5 billion people are going to get a big spit right in the face. Same thing. Same thing as these mobs do in the Islamic world. An even better comparison is what we're starting to see more and more of in the West. People holding placards saying, "Wait for the real Holocaust," or "Freedom, go to hell," that sort of thing. It's increasingly taking place in the UK. Very narrow splinter groups doing it that don't represent the Islamic community at all, even the very religious Islamic community in their own countries. But certainly the Dove World Outreach Center does not in any way represent Western opinion on the matter of burning the Quran, nor does it even represent Western religious opinion. Both groups find the whole thing absolutely repugnant. And also, this will be taking place, or may be taking place, with the police just there to keep order, not to prevent it taking place. We shall have to see, I'm sure, that the courts are frantically attempting to find some way of limiting the damage. But it's the same thing. Each side is pointing at the other and saying, "devil," and is being as offensive as is humanly possible. Each side probably believes that the other side is the devil. And each side is quite convinced that they've had enough, that they just can't take any more blatant provocation from the other side. It's the same story. It's a mirror image. And with the internet now, it's broadcast practically in real time whenever it happens. So it's a pity that this has to happen, but I suppose in a certain way it was inevitable that we'd get to this point where we have factions, small factions on either side, getting a lot more attention than they really warrant by their numbers, and getting a lot more press coverage than we would like them to have. Neither side has any, in my opinion, significant representation in mainstream public opinion. I would say almost none. The depth of feeling simply isn't there. The Americans, just for example, are pretty steamed about 9/11 to this day. The Islamic world is pretty steamed about Palestine, and I would say the Western countries' foreign policy, whatever that's supposed to mean. But that's a lot different from deliberately demonizing the other. People are allowed to disagree vehemently in international affairs. They always have, they always will, that's fair ball. But saying you are nothing but the devil, which you hear increasingly, and there's nothing good about your culture, your beliefs, your country at all, gives this whole debate a starkness, which, if you ask me, is a little bit more disturbing than just the usual protest marches that one sees. Certain countries have jumped on the bandwagon. The first, as far as I remember in this, was the Iranian Revolution, where they did things like painting the U.S. flag right on the sidewalks so people could walk right over it. Government rhetoric, to this day, openly calls for Israel's punishment, destruction perhaps, openly demonizes the West, great Satan, this kind of thing. Won't be long before we've got rabble-rousing politicians of our own who get elected to powerful positions who talk like this. That's the real menace of Burn a Qur'an Day and the angry Union Jack or Old Glory burning mobs in the Islamic world. They're an extremely offensive nuisance if they're just demonstrating. What's going to happen if any of these people are ever given real power? Not a pleasant thought. Thank you.